And welcome back to the last word from Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution, which we are taking line by line. I'm Don Frazier. This is Paul Fabrizio, political science and history.
Very good.
Like I did that.
All right. I like that.
So this is, yes?
No, we're at the last line of Article 2.
Which is the executive branch.
Yeah. So what are we going to learn about with the presidency now?
Yeah, because this is now Section 4.
Okay.
You know, Section 3 was the big run-on sentence. Section 4 is one pretty short and sweet sentence. I mean, it's not even a clause. It's just a sentence, but it's a pretty powerful one.
Okay.
All right, here it goes. Here's how it reads. This has to do with the impeachment of civil officers.
Okay.
The president, vice president, and all civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for and conviction of treason, bribery, or other high crimes and misdemeanors. So you have to be impeached and convicted. If that happens, you're out. And you can be impeached and convicted for the following reasons. Bribery, which
Treason.
Rampant in politics. Treason.
No, it's
Oh, it is. It absolutely is. Treason, which is tough to prove.
Yes.
And the very all-encompassing phrase, high crimes and misdemeanors. I have no idea what a high crime and misdemeanor is, and neither do they.
That's right.
Because they'll make it up as they go.
Right. And in essence, you captured what this is all about. It's a political decision.
It is.
And here we have in Article 2, the presidency, how you get a president, the powers of the president, and now how you remove the president and other officers that he might have appointed.
That's exactly right. If they're taking bribes and they're impeached and convicted of taking bribes, they're no longer eligible to hold office.
That's right.
Now, they're not going to jail necessarily.
Correct.
That's a different procedure.
Right. This has nothing to do with crimes or a criminal procedure. We need to understand that.
That's right.
This is only about politics and deciding to remove a politician from a position of authority.
Can you imagine how tough of a political decision it would be to impeach someone for treason? I mean, it'd have to be...
I think that would be easy.
Well, it'd have to be so blatant it would be easy.
Very, very much.
But, I mean, we throw the word treason around
I know.
in political circles. I mean, people are either the worst since Hitler or they're traitors.
Right.
Which both are ridiculous and usually come pouring out of the skull of people who don't know much about history or maybe even political science. Yeah, which is apparently the majority of the United States. So I just think that it would have to be so blatant. I mean, Aaron Burr was clearly in cahoots with agents that were working with the Spanish government.
Okay.
He had in his head that we could essentially separate the Western territories and create a great mid-continental republic that included some Spanish lands, some American lands. Mississippi River is its central spine. He's not even considered. I mean, people think he's a traitor, but he's not.
And he killed somebody.
And he killed Alexander Hamilton. But it was in a
He was in a duel.
It was in a duel on neutral ground. And it gives a very poignant ending to a Broadway musical. But this guy is not even convicted of treason.
Amazing.
It is amazing.
Yeah.
We've set a very high bar. So, in my opinion, people that talk about treason as a cause for this or that need to just quit throwing that word around because it cheapens it.
Yeah. And, I mean, when you talk about impeachment, it is such a major step. When we're talking about the president, you're talking about the overturning of a national election.
Correct.
And that I think, has to be done with such care. And yet the two examples where we've had of presidents who've been impeached, I don't think either were done with that care.
No, I think they were trying to railroad people that they just had political disagreements with.
Right.
And Andrew Johnson was not incompetent.
Right.
Some people might argue that out
Right.
there in history land. But
Right.
I think he was trying to carry on the legacy of a martyred president. And that got a big chore. I mean, that's
Right.
a big burden to have to carry.
Right. It's
And
hard
then-
to be the guy who follows the legend.
Oh, yeah. And Clinton,
where do we go?
I mean, where do you even go with that?
But in the end, Clinton was in trouble because his political enemies wanted him to be in trouble.
Absolutely.
And they basically looked for years to find something. And
he gave it to him.
And yeah, he couldn't keep himself under control. And so he got caught. Is that impeachable? Yeah. Is it convictable?
Apparently
No.
not.
Yeah.
As
Okay.
it turns out, no.
And this is a distinction that we need to make sure we say. There's two steps in the process. You get impeached by the House of Representatives.
Yes.
And basically they're saying you have done something wrong.
Correct.
And then they ship it over to the Senate, and the Senate is going to say, okay, they've said you've done something wrong. Do we want to kick you out of office? And that is all it's about. Do we kick him out of office? It takes 2/3 of the senators present to do that.
Yeah.
That's a high bar. Very seldom does one political party control 2/3.
And we covered a lot of that in
Already.
Article 1. And really all this is saying is, hey, if this transaction occurs, you're done.
You're gone.
You got to go.
Yeah. So I view this as less a description about the thing, but more as a warning to the president that you are subject to impeachment. We've given you all these powers. We've made you this singular authority, but Congress is not powerless against you. Keep that in mind.
Then if you are impeached and convicted, we will frog march you out of this office. And that's kind of what this is.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all of Section 4.
That's it.
And so
that's all of Article 2.
That's all of Article 2. So we've now gone through Article 1 and Article 2 of the U.S. Constitution line by line.
Yes, Congress, President.
We're just lacking one part.
One more branch.
Well, I bet we talk about that in the next episode of the Constitution line by line. Thanks.